Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. Beginning with the big national story, the man suspected of killing the United Healthcare CEO in a Pennsylvania state prison. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione faces several charges, including a weapons count. Lee Waldman has the latest from Pennsylvania.
The suspect here, who shot at that CEO and killed that CEO, is a coward, not a hero.
A days-long manhunt coming to an end at a McDonald's fast food restaurant in Altoona, Pennsylvania, when 26-year-old Luigi Mangione was recognized by an employee.
If you see something, say something, but most importantly, do something. And they did.
During Mangione's arrest, police asked if he had been to New York recently. Officers noted he began to shake and presented them with a fake ID, according to the criminal complaint. Authorities say he was carrying what's called a ghost gun, an untraceable, self-assembled firearm that may have been 3D printed. Investigators are now working to see if ballistics and DNA evidence from a recovered backpack and other items will link to Mangione. His former roommate, R.J. Martin, says his arrest is unfathomable.
It wasn't, anything specific. It wasn't like he had an axe to grind or he was even upset or angry about a particular issue, or they were just natural intellectual conversations that you have when you're inquisitive.
Mangione is facing 5 charges in Pennsylvania, including second-degree possession of a forged document and 1 count of carrying a firearm without a license, according to the criminal complaint. In Pennsylvania, I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
Closer to home, early morning snow being blamed for 2 accidents in northeast Nebraska. Stanton County authorities say they first responded to a crash east of Norfolk along Highway 275 before sunrise Tuesday. Officials with the sheriff's office say the driver of an eastbound pickup lost control and rolled into a ditch. The driver was not seriously hurt, but was cited for not having a driver's license. A second crash happened less than an hour later west of Pilger. Sheriff's officials say a westbound truck lost control and struck a dirt embankment. The driver suffered what were called serious injuries. He was extricated from the vehicle and hospitalized in Norfolk. Stanton County authorities say there was also a third rollover in the Woodland Park neighborhood of Norfolk, but no one was injured there. Well, after highly attended committee meetings and town hall events, a Central Nebraska school board has made its decision concerning the fate of one of its elementary schools. Michael Shively has our story.
A small elementary school in Kearney will soon be transformed into a kindergarten through 5th grade alternative school. That was the decision made by the Kearney School Board Monday night by a 5-1 vote. It affects Glenwood Elementary on the north edge of town. It's a small 1-unit school. Those students will now go to Buffalo Hills Elementary. Glenwood parents were fiercely opposed, liking their tight-knit community school. The school board members who voted in favor of the measure says behaviorally challenged kids need a school of their own because there's violent issues involving elementary students and teachers. They also cited the desire to retain more teachers and that this could help with it. For budget reasons, they said the location and the time, well, it needs to happen now at Glenwood.
But what I can't get my head around is 2,900 kids sitting in a classroom trying to get their education and they're evacuated from their room. I can't be okay with that.
Board members for the change, like Paul Hazard, pointed to a spike in violent threats that caused major disruptions. They believe an alternative school, similar to the district's Hanny Aram Center that serves middle and high school students, could benefit the entire district more than it detracts from today's Glenwood students. The decision was informed by a survey given to teachers.
And it was an overwhelming, yes, we need this, yes, we want this, and yes, it's going to affect our retention. Because if I have to keep going like this, I'm going to burn out.
Parents like Melinda Riedel organized against the proposal and tried to preserve the school.
I mean, obviously, we're very disappointed, and we had a petition of almost 1,200 signatures. So if you are one of the 1,200 signatures, please reach out to the board and also tell them how disappointed you are.
Glenwood students will finish out the next semester this academic school year at Glenwood Elementary. Then they will be assigned to Buffalo Hills Elementary unless they choose to go to a different school. Renovations will begin likely over the summer at Glenwood. It's expected to open as a K-5 alternative school in the fall of 2026. In Kearney, Michael Shively, News Channel, Nebraska.
Firefighters from multiple agencies responded to a large blaze in North Beatrice Monday night. Beatrice Rural Fire Chief Matt Langley says multiple departments were dispatched to 19th and Sargent Streets after a report that a space heater led to an explosion in a camper outside of a home. Beatrice Rural Fire and Rescue, Pickrell Volunteer Fire, and Philly Volunteer Fire all responded to the scene. There were no injuries reported, but Langley says it's believed a cat perished inside the camper. Firefighters remained on scene after 9 p.m. The state fire marshal is investigating the exact cause. Well, an initiative to help people who help others, like first responders, was put on by Norfolk-based company Daycos. They partner with communities to help transportation companies ensure products and services that best fit their needs. And recently, they provided Norfolk Police and Fire with an $8,000 grant to update their technology. Hanky Hazelton has more.
The fire department has a specialized reporting software, and the police station has a dispatch software that wasn't receiving the proper communication between the two. To fix the problem properly, they reached out to Daycos to purchase Image Trend.
What this allows us to do is take our Image Trend reporting software, link it with the CAD system that PD has been working on and put in place, and that will transfer our call times, what units responded, the location, and some other details directly into our report.
The fire department also bought an interface between the two softwares. So as my dispatchers are inputting information into the computer-aided dispatch, all that information is transferred to their reporting software. It creates a lot more efficient way of doing things, and it eliminates the possibility of errors.
With the older technology, the fire department has had to physically call over the telephone for information, but now
they will receive a lot more and accurate information that goes directly into their software.
The new software has also been easier for anyone and everyone to navigate, considering the old system was used through a keyboard.
Now it's soft keys, you can click on them. It's a little more user-friendly for us because we can see more details on the call in the station on one screen, where before we had to use a lot of the F function keys on the keyboard to get to different areas that we wanted to. And so we're able to get more information before we leave.
O'Brien says for them, this might already have an effect on them without even realizing it. But after talking with other departments who have used this already, it has lessened their incident reporting significantly. But the other thing this is helping with is sleep deprivation.
On every call, we have to do a report, and I would say putting those details in takes anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. So if we're running 10 to 15 calls a day, which is not out of the norm, you know, that's saving us upwards of 100+ minutes just in our reporting time. So we're saving staff hours. If we can shave 10 to 15 minutes on 3 calls a night, that's an extra half an hour. Hopefully our providers can sleep. Now that is minimal in the grand scheme of things, but we're hoping that there will be more features that will in the future.
In Norfolk, Hanky Hazelton, News Channel, Nebraska.
And many of you, no doubt, remember the days when church choirs were the heart of Sunday mornings. But across the country, their numbers are dwindling. Over the past 2 decades, according to a recent survey, the percentage of congregations with choirs has dropped by 12%. Well, Casey Wannenberg takes us to Valentine to meet a 90-year-old woman whose passion for harmony has kept the music alive in her community for decades.
In a time when fewer than half of all churches have a choir, this group is striking a different tone. The Valentine Community Choir brings together singers from all walks of life. blending voices from different churches, backgrounds, and generations.
It's a way for people who love to sing to get back together.
In fact, for 90-year-old Edith Batchelor, this choir has been her melody since it formed 40 years ago.
Fellowship together and laugh together and look at each other and think, whoa, we hit the wrong note then.
Edith first started singing in grade school when a teacher pointed out her potential.
I had a wonderful teacher, and he come up in the classroom and he says, Edith, and I thought, what have I done now? And he said, I need someone in the band. He says, you got good rhythm, will you come and play the drums?
While you won't see Edith rocking out to the drums anymore, and her hands tremble slightly while holding the hymnal, this 90-year-old's voice is strong, and her spirit even stronger.
This year they said, aren't you going to come back? And I said, well, I'll give it a try. My husband passed away 8 years ago.
Edith says her husband's death was one of the most difficult chapters in her life and her music.
He and his friend and my friend and me, we sang at so many funerals, the four of us. When all else failed, they called us.
All jokes aside, Edith says she's learned some serious life lessons through the sound of music.
The messages are always there if people listen to the wording. And if you make mistakes in singing it, well, just smile and go on.
When I hear this choir perform, I have learned to play with tears in my eyes a lot.
A harmony of emotion and community that Edith hopes will echo for generations to come.
Community enjoys us doing it.
In Valentine, Casey Wannenberg, News Channel, Nebraska.
And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com, click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.